Hi, welcome to What is LexisPlus and How Can It Help Me? My name is Charlotte Strong and I am your Lexis rep. I am a research attorney with LexisNexis and I graduated from law school way back in 2008. But I distinctly remember being a 2L and a 3L, having not done research for a while, and being a little foggy on what to do. So, today we are going to go through a brief refresher on how to conduct legal research, whether it's for a paper, journal, or for an employer. And I am going to be showing you some of the really cool features of Lexis Plus. All right, this is the new law school homepage, and you can see right here we can click Go to Lexis Plus. So we are going to Lexis Plus, and I will give you our hypo. The Supreme Court recently came out with a case to settle a split in the circuits regarding whether or not cell phone ping locations can be used without obtaining a warrant. Does this violate the Fourth Amendment? The court held that accessing ping locations requires a warrant except in certain emergency circumstances. We will research the background of the law and how lower courts might interpret this decision. So, I'm going to give you 4 ways to start your research. 1, start with search terms in the red search box and use the search tree to see if your search terms need to be refined. Then click Ravel View in your site list. 2, start with one case, then shepherdize a head note. 3, start with the statute, go to case notes or notes to decisions, and look at the cases cited, then follow number 1 above. 4, start with a treatise, learn about the elements of your legal issue, and find a good case, then follow number 2 above. All right, method number 1. You know nothing. So let's start with some search terms. You have the fact pattern, and you want to throw some stuff into the search box. So I'm going to type cell phone /P location and Fourth Amendment and location warrant. And then I'm going to go ahead and click the magnifying glass to do my search. See, I've only got 16 cases from my search. I want my search to be a little more broad so that I can have enough where I can focus on terms and so forth. So I'm going to click right here. This is called the search tree. And when you click on it, it shows you how your connectors have related to your search terms. So we can see if we just did cell phone /P location, we'd have over 10,000 documents. But when we add in Fourth Amendment, we're at 2,889. And when we add in location warrant, you can see we're at 16. So I actually want to run the cell phone /P location and Fourth Amendment. And if anyone forgot, /P means you want your terms in the same paragraph. So I'm going to click on here, and it's going to go ahead and run that search for me. So now I have a little over, or nearly 3,000 cases. So I have plenty of room to narrow and focus as I want. Next, I'm going to click on Ravel View up here so I can quickly get a handle on what are my seminal cases. So Ravel View, as you can see, has been updated. The colors of the bubbles have changed, and the legend is right down here to remind you what each color means, as well as the colors of the lines. What do they mean? So I can quickly see the biggest case right here is Riley. So if I click on it, it pops to the top of my case list, and I can see the Shepherd's relationship to the other cases in Ravel View. So, or rather in my search results. So if I hover over a bubble, as I'm doing here, we can see that Carpenter v. United States followed Riley, and we see the analysis right there as to why it followed Riley. And I can go ahead and hover over a few other bubbles, and I see Tracy v. State from the Supreme Court of Florida followed Riley, and there's the analysis. And if I wanted to click into Riley, I can do that right there. And if I want to go ahead and hold another case, all I have to do is click the X and I will hold another case. So remember, the bigger the circle, the more citations to and from the case. And the higher the circle within each quadrant is the relevance of the case. All right, so remember, RavelView helps you identify your seminal cases quickly and see the shepherd's relationship between the cases on your case list. And the search tree helps you see how your connectors have affected your search terms and can help you refine your search. All right, let's go to method number 2. Someone gave you a case. So you have a leading case to start your research. One of the really cool things in LexisPlus is you can click Run New Search, and here you're going to have the full functionality of the search bar. So I'm going to type in 565 US 400, and then I'm going to click Search. So now I have a leading case from which I'm going to start my research. So I'm going to scroll down. Well, I might click Law School Case Brief so I can quickly understand this particular case. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look at the case summary. Remember, the procedural posture tells you how the case got to this particular court. The overview tells you what happened in this case. And finally, the outcome is what the judges decided. And right here are our head notes. Remember, LexisNexis head notes are pulled directly from the case. They are the language of the court. These are points of law from the case. LexisNexis head notes do not summarize or editorialize the head note. We use the language of the court. And so as I scroll down, I see head note number 3, Search and Seizure Scope of Protection. And this looks like a pretty good head note, and I want to go ahead and shepherdize, narrow by this head note. All I have to do is click on the link right here. And I have now shepherdized and narrowed by head note 3. And there are 352 cases when I narrow by head note 3. So I want to refine this a bit. So I'm going to go over here to my filters and scroll down to publication status. One of the easiest ways to refine your case results list is to only look at reported cases. Because remember, unreported cases have no precedential value. So now I'm looking at reported cases and I have 139. I want to refine it just a little bit more, and I'm going to search within results right over here, and I'm going to type in cell phone. And now I'm down to 63 cases, and perhaps I want to look at the different analysis. I want to see the 20 cases that have distinguished themselves from U.S. v. Jones, or perhaps I want to look at the 20 cases that have followed U.S. v. Jones. And as you can see on your search results list, it shows you exactly where things have happened. So Carpenter distinguished itself from U.S. v. Jones, and this shows you where it happened. Then it followed it, explained, cited by, and you can see some of the analysis right here. And additionally, as you go through the other cases, you can see the analysis. All right, so that is method number 2, how to use a case to jumpstart your research. You use the Shepherd's Report. And one last quick thing, remember, if you decide that you don't want to refine by cell phone anymore, all you have to do is click the X, and you can X out of your narrowing filters. All right, method number 3, you have a statute. So someone gives you a statute on your issue. So I'm going to click Run New Search again. I'm going to type 18 USC 1951, and then I'm going to click Search. All right, now we are in our statute. And of course, you should go ahead and read the statute. And then I want to jump to the case notes or notes to decisions. And up here, you have go to, and then I am going to click notes to decisions. And that jumps me down to the notes to decisions. And you can see they are organized by issue. So we have in general, the constitutionality, purpose, applicability, construction, etc. And you can see there are many different areas that I can choose from. So let's just go ahead and click constitutionality, and you can see here are a bunch of cases that I can go ahead and read. And when I click on them, I want to read the case and then go to method number 2 and shepherdize the case and go from there. So that is method number 3 of how to start your research. All right, I'm going to go ahead, go back to the top of the page, and then click on LexisPlus to go back to the home page. Method number 4, starting with a treatise. So I'm going to go ahead and enter our search terms, cell phone /P location in 4th Amendment. And then I'm going to change my category. I want to change it to secondary materials. This means that you are starting in secondary materials, but it's still searching the entire universe of cases. And then I click search. All right, I am in my search results, and I know that I want a treatise, so I'm going to change my category to treatises. And then I also want to change my jurisdiction to U.S. federal. All right, one really cool thing that is been added to LexisPlus are these search term maps. Now, remember, search term maps before were only in cases. Now they're across 35 different categories in LexisPlus, including secondary materials. So search term maps allows you to see where your search terms are in this particular document to help you decide if you want to click into it. The start portion shows you what Lexis thinks is the best discussion of your search terms. All right, so you can see this one, my search terms are in the text as well as the footnotes. And if I look at the title, Applying Standard Fourth Amendment Doctrine in Digital Context, that sounds like it's pretty good, but let's scroll just a little bit more, and I can see particular devices or data. And this is in Chapter 18, Searches of Digital Devices, Data, and Records under the Fourth Amendment. Oh, look at this. This looks like a really great chapter for me, and I can see the discussion, and they're talking about this particular case with historical cell site records. So I'm going to go ahead and click into this one. So you will notice that my table of contents is opened when I clicked into it. If it is not open when you click into something, all you have to do is click over here, table of contents, and that will open the table of contents on the left-hand side of your page. And I'm going to expand so I can see what particularly this chapter, these sections of the chapter, and look, historical cell site location data. So I could go ahead and read this, and then I am going to get more information so that I can start my research. And as you can see, they're talking about different cases. Carpenter v. U.S., all I have to do is click on the footnote. It takes me down to the footnote, and I can go into the case. And then I go ahead and apply method number 2, and I shepherdize the case and go from there to get more cases and better understand my particular area of research. So there's one last thing I want to show you. Go back to the home page, and I am going to enter Dura v. State Farm. I did not type that correctly. Dura v. State Farm, and you can see I can click on it right there and click search. And one thing from LexisPlus is you now have persistent views. So whatever view you were in last is the one that will show your search term results. So remember last we were talking about Ravel View and we were in Ravel View. If I just want to go back to my full view, I can do that. And then I click into Dura v. State Farm. And something new we now have is this at risk. And at risk means that this case is at risk of having the shepherd signal change. So I'm going to click on it and I can see why it's at risk. So it tells me 2 passages in this decision have been undermined because they rely on an overruled prior decision. Right here is the passage as well as highlighted in the case, and it shows you that this case is citing Cohen v. Allstate Insurance Company, which was later overruled in part by Reagan v. Mallow. And if I click the arrow, it shows me the second passage that's following Costello v. Bothers, and that was also later overruled in part by Reagan v. Mallow. So that allows me to know that there are weaknesses in this case, and I need to read it very carefully and make sure that the points of law that have been overruled are not what I'm relying on for this case. All right, and I'm going to X that out, and that was just one really cool thing I wanted to show you. So, in conclusion, remember, there are 4 ways to start your research. 1, start with search terms in the search box, then refine your search terms using the search tree, and then click on Ravel View to learn the seminal cases for your search in your site list. 2, start with one case, then shepherdize the head note to find more authority. 3, start with a statute, then go to case notes and look at the cases cited, then follow number 2 above. 4, start with a treatise, learn about the elements of your legal issue, and find a good case, then start with number 2 above. Remember, if you need any assistance or have questions, you can reach out to me, Charlotte Strong, or your student reps. And if it is 3 a.m., I'm probably sleeping, and I pray my student reps are as well. But you can always call the Lexis customer support line at 1-800-45-LEXIS. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is staffed by expert legal researchers. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.